jackpot will be worth $43 million. I'm Chris Coraggio, NBC News Radio.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Problems and all that good stuff, and I was talking to her, and she was really nice to talk to me, and she gave me this elixir, and she was like, man, this does wonders. This does so many things for so many people. You have to try it out. And so she gave me a bottle for free, and basically for the insides, what it does, it kind of it's almost like a soap for the inside of your body. You know, it lubricates your cell walls and your veins, and lubricates your blood I want to say your blood pellets, your blood cells, so they can slide by each other, right? Because I have a history of blood clotting, and she was like, this would help make sure that your blood cells don't clog up in this. And, you know, other people use it for other things, for wounds, for Alzheimer's, for strokes, and all that good stuff. So she gave me a bottle, and, you know, you just do a couple drops a day inside your drink, or, you know, if you really want to do it, then you just put some drops in your mouth. It's kind of crazy. But, you know, I have a history with her. She's really awesome, and she does, like, alternative medicines. So when she calls in today, we're going to be talking about a couple things. I know she's very passionate about it. She's been a doctor for a couple decades now, so I will shoot her a text, tell her that we are live so we can get things going. But before we do that, Kyle, you know what time it is?
It is sponsor time.
Sponsor time.
SNJRadio.com. No negative news, no politics, just feel good music.
Yes. And if you guys want to become a sponsor on our show, you guys can email us on KCAA, whateverworks, at gmail.com. And if you guys want to go back and watch some of our previous shows or listen to some of our previous shows, you guys can go on Spotify, look up KCAA, whatever works. And then you also on the radio website, kcaaradio.com. Click on my podcast, go back, and it has all of our shows. I think, let me see here. We are on episode 129. Yes, so we've been keeping track, super excited. We passed the 129 weeks ago. We're still strong. We still have a lot of great people coming up here pretty soon. I want to talk about next week is going to be the new music hour. So we got some of our old artists that were on our show before sending in new music. I know you guys like some of our people. And we also got some new artists who are going to be, you know, singing some of our songs. So stay tuned. It's not just hip-hop. It's not just rap. You know, we got some rock in there. Maybe some jazz, a little bit of
maybe some jazz.
Yeah, bring it back a little bit. I don't know where she's at. Hopefully she's okay. She can call through. I know when we were talking this morning, she had to use another cell phone number because she was having problems with her phone. Just give me 1 second here.
Well, in the meantime, I will say that if you have any questions for us or Dr. Wong, you can give us a call at 888-909-1050. That is 888-909-1050.
Yeah. So
and also a quick shout out to Leia. It is her birthday today.
Okay,
she's
happy birthday, Leia.
Yeah, I don't know if she's on the live. I know Cody's on the live. Says Cody loves sponsor time. So shout out to Cody.
Feel good music. That's our boy Kyle right there. Also, if you guys go to our sponsor, snjradio.com, he plays music from every era, every genre. And you'll hear some of me and Kyle doing our positive quotes and positive messages.
And positive messages of the day.
Yeah, so tune in for that. So, Kyle, since we're going to be talking about medicine anyways, alternative medicines, let's backtrack here. What do you think about Western medicine itself?
Western medicine?
What are your thoughts on that?
Like, what do you mean by Western medicine?
Well, for me, you know, taking, like, prescribed medication and stuff like that. And
this place,
this place
is Western medicine.
So when I had blood clots, I was taking Lovenox, which is a blood thinner, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, they said, hey, we recommend, there's our caller coming in right now. We recommend taking, you know, medication for the rest of your life. And
That's wild.
Hi.
And I said no. Hi, Dr. Wong. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm good.
We're doing good.
I'm glad you were able to make it here on the radio.
Yes, so am I. I'm excited to share what I have. This will be amazing. what I have is going to disrupt so many things in the world.
Well, that's what we're all about here on Whatever Works. Hey, so just give us a quick background of who you are.
So I'm a pediatrician, board certified in the state of California, and I'm the proud mother of 9 children and 13 grandkids with 1 on the way. But I've served as a healer for many, many years, and having come across holistic healing, I'm now moved from the traditional, medicine. I graduated from USC. Now I'm practicing holistic ways and approaches to help deal with our wellness.
So tell us what's new, what's going on with these alternative medicines, what's going on. One of the things I do want you to talk about is what you sent me on the messages. I think it's the AO scan. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, that's available. That's amazing. Everyone can have access to control their own health and well-being. The AO scan is capturing frequencies of every single molecule in your body as if you were going to your doctor's office and lab x-rays, MRI, CT, angiogram, and all that is captured by this one app. The app is just gathering all the data, analyzed, and being able to give a report back to you immediately without waiting for weeks or days to get the report from your lab or from your doctor or whatever. So you have control of your health and well-being in your own hands. Now, and you don't have to be a certified medical person. It's the lay people have access to this.
So, yeah. So you said that all you have to do is just basically fill out inside the app. And when it comes to that, what if you don't know what's really wrong with you?
Well, here's the thing. It's automatic. It's AO scan, which means automatic optimization. The people who went through the effort to program this was able to look at what is going on and being able to accurately say, this is your blood count, this is your hemoglobin A1C, but they will also send a frequency that it starts to bring your value in harmony. If you know what is not in bound, you can send a frequency to bring it back in alignment. So you don't really need to know much, just trust it. Because when you go to doctors, you don't know everything. You're not trained to be a doctor, but you say, well, doctor, what am I supposed to do? What's going on? And the doctor says, well, I make this recommendation, and this is what you're supposed to do, and this is what you're supposed to take. Here's a prescription. Here's what I recommend. And then come back in 1 or 2 weeks, and we'll see how you're doing. That's exactly what the AO scan is doing. It automatically is taking care of identifying what the issue is and starts to send a frequency to target what needs to be harmonized. Like your instrument out of tune. What happens? The tuner comes along, gets the tuning fork and said, okay, you're off key. You need to be in this key. And that's what it's doing. You have in this device, this app, is a tuning fork or tuner that's tuning you to become a beautiful orchestra automatically.
So how does this frequency tuning work? Does it send frequencies through your phone to your hand, or
right? Whatever device you have. Let's say you have a phone or a laptop, so long as it's able to pull the frequencies to you. Like right now, you and I are talking on the cell phone. The signal's coming from your phone to my phone. That's it. Or if I have a tablet and it has the capability of capturing the data. You know how you can download things onto a picture or a video onto your tablet, or you have it on your computer screen? Same thing. But here's the thing. Likewise, from my tablet, I'm going to send you a signal, and you receive it on your end. As right now, I'm talking to you. My signal from my voice reaches your phone and reaches your ear, and there you go. So, you are the receptor too.
So when when I speak, it's obviously letting off frequencies. That's how people are able to hear me talk, and the frequencies are giving you signals, or the app signals saying, "Hey, according to his voice and his frequency, it shows that something's off, and it can detect what is wrong."
Right. If you go to the YouTube that the man who developed this app, his name is Lawrence Swenson, they've added now 10,000 frequencies that they have been able to identify. And from there, they're looking at particularly 2,000 frequencies that are important at this time. So from the 2,000, they can say, okay, you're too high here, 4 top ones are too high, and here's one that's too low. Okay? So I would like you to understand that this is the most powerful thing that one can enjoy, is that you have captured the information based on frequency. And you know this exists because you look at even destruction of things like earthquakes. That's a frequency wavelength. You have ground shaking and the building tumbles down. So if you have a frequency you can identify, you can similarly say a cancer cell or bacteria or fungus, you generate the right frequency that resonates with that target, it could come tumbling down. Same thing.
So how well or how fast can this detect, like,
You're
before it
able to
happens, like
scan within 15 minutes, you can capture billions of data. You
Okay.
have a device that captures the data. In 1 minute, we can do your inner voice. In a minute and a half, we can do vitals and send back in a minute and a half frequencies to harmonize you. The longest one takes about 5.5 to 6 minutes, which is comprehensive, that they have frequencies down to your mitochondria, which is your powerhouse. It has your chromosomes. It has your possible, fungal parasites, etc., in your system. It can take a look at foods that you're exposed to, that if you ate this food, that nut, that vegetable, it could be good or bad, giving you, inflammation or reduced function, or it's just right. Okay?
So
This is the power of this device.
So every living thing vibrates and sends out frequencies, from fruits to your voice to basically everything. But how?
Well, even inanimate objects too. Right now, you look at your car. Don't you have a sensor that says check engine light, check tire pressure, check oil level? Same thing. All things, even inanimate, are made out of atoms. There is a wonderful videotape that YouTube, that these scientists have demonstrated. This is what's happening in every inanimate or anything that exists has frequencies because it's made out of subatomic particles, atoms and subatomic atoms, or elements. So everything, inanimate, living or non-living, all are based on frequencies. Isn't that powerful?
It's very powerful. How long did it take for this app to, accumulate all this data of frequencies from every living thing?
This man worked on this for about 30 plus years because he had a son whom he adopted with cerebral palsy at birth. And he adopted him at 9 months, and he was observing the little boy was starting to need a wheelchair because he could not sustain his weight and holding to the walls. So he went and looked at what's happening in the world, what's available to help his son. And lo and behold, he found in China, in Europe, and Russia, they were working on frequency and using programs to help them. So he bought the program and he worked on it with other scientists who knew about frequency, quantum energy. And with that, his son able to speak 5 languages and is got a black belt in Taekwondo.
So let me see if I can break down the science a little bit. So just like opera singers, how they're able to break, glass wines, it's because they're matching the frequency of the wine glass, and that
and
amplifies the vibrations, which shatters the glass, correct? So
correct.
In this sense, what it's doing is it's giving you the right frequency in order to amplify whatever's, affecting you, whether it's like bacteria or cancer cells, to destroy those cells, to target those cells, correct?
And then likewise, if you know the right frequencies, you can actually build it up. You can give frequencies to quote unquote theoretically harmonize or repair or bring it back to what it should be. If you know that the frequency of the cell is off by this much, you can give a frequency to shift it back to the frequency it should be. So that is what you're doing. And the gentleman using the AO scan, he'll testify that his herniated disc was no longer there, or someone's sciatica was gone, or someone with Parkinson's stopped shaking. These are all testimonials. The person, what they experience, what they have as results, or the woman with a urinary tract infection symptoms are gone using this device.
So
There you go.
this device, is it like, does it make sounds, or how does it build this
Yes,
frequency?
it sends frequencies. You can hear sound. When you get your report, it tells you what tones or music notes that will help you bring your highs up. Bring your highs low and your lows up so that you become balanced, harmonized. Okay? That's exactly what you're doing with the beautiful symphony. It sounds so harmonious. This is what it can do using frequencies.
So in a smaller scale, let's say, like, this is why when people listen to music, they get elevated, or they put them in a certain mood because it's hitting the right harmony or frequency through their body, right? That matches them.
Yes, you felt it when you see a beautiful sunset, a beautiful picture, or you get it could be massage therapy. That's frequency. Someone tactilely stimulating your muscles and moving, or somebody does the reflexology. Another person may have you listen to a beautiful concert. You feel different energies, different uplifting feelings, and others that change your mood, that you can listen to a piece and you feel sad or melancholy or depressed, and the other ones you feel so uplifted, energized. You've seen people listen to music and they start moving and dancing. Same thing. You could use music and you can see fine sand shimmering or moving to the sound, or you can see light bending. This is it. They respond. They've shown pictures as they've played instruments, and they have, sand particles shifting and moving to the energy of that music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually seen that on Instagram. They put sand on a table, and they hit a note on their guitar, and that note, the sand formed like a certain pattern.
Yeah,
Right.
that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
Right.
And I believe that Nikolai Tesla was working on frequencies as well, right? Before he disappeared. And also Bruce Lee as well, because he was doing studies on Nikola Tesla about frequencies and tried to do that with his body. Although I heard that because he didn't know too much of the science behind it, he was actually damaging his body by doing that because he couldn't really match the frequencies.
Bear with me. I'm trying to hear you better. Yes. But if you look at those people who knew this, the scientists that studied this, it included Tesla, Raymond Rife, Einstein, Dinshaw. Quite a few brilliant physicists knew about this. And this has been hidden from the world because, of course, it's too simple to take care of things that our body. Remember, do you have Dr. Emoto and the Miracle of Water, where he just wrote happiness, joy, love, peace, put it next to water, a glass of water, and that water was beautiful crystals when it was frozen, and then another glass, same water, glass water, and you put murder, kill, vengeance, hate, war, then it never crystallized. So you think about it, intense frequencies can affect the target. Likewise, we are water, so we have to be careful what we think, what we positive or negative energy is created. Got it?
Yeah, they also did another study with like plants, and it's the same concept. They had the plants in the same area, same environment, but day after day, they'll talk trash on one plant, and then they would try to uplift the other plant, and then within a couple weeks, the one that was getting trash talk like died, and then the one that everyone encouraged kind of flourished in life. Now, do you think that's because of the words, or is it because of the tone of our words, or
Yes, our thoughts have energy, right? Yeah. hmm
you got some people in the background?
Yes, I was trying to get some dinner. Sorry, and my phone wasn't working, so I'm using my friend's phone.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
So, before you came on the show, before you called in, I was actually telling the people about the elixir that you gave me, a couple years back. At,
Yes,
at
Immucyst, right.
yes, can you talk a little bit about that?
Immucyst was based on surfactant. Surfactant affects the surface tension of water. There's over 2,000 natural occurring surfactants. Soap is the surfactant, and we use soap to clean and remove dirt and germs. This one changes the surface tension of water so that each water molecule is able to go into its where the water is and the surfactant of the cyst. So in your body, you apply it, it will drive every single H2O into your cell, and you are 75 to 80% water. You want good water and be able to use every single H2O molecule to optimize your hydration. When you're hydrated, you feel much better. You look at dehydration, you feel tired, fatigued. It's like going from a raisin to a grape. How would you prefer to be, a raisin or a grape?
Oh, great.
So this is hydration. We need hydration. How much do we spend to get good quality water? You look at the drought. We're suffering, and plants and animals too. Without water, they would not live for more than would not live more than 3 days. So it's really critical that we optimize and use every single water molecule that we could get. Under the microscope, I can show you what Immucyst does, that it actually literally drives the water molecule into the cell, and you can see it under a drop of your blood, that the blood cells plump up with this product. So this has been able to help people with testimonials that they've experienced in Rwanda, Uganda, 2003, 1,000 registered HIV positive patients converted from positive to negative. And the thing commonality, they all took this Immucyst.
And what is it called? What is it called, Dr. Wong?
So if you think about it, the word Immucyst is to assist or help your immune system. How critical is your immune system for your survival?
It's probably one of the most important things.
Right? Because we know about the boy in the bubble. He couldn't survive if he was not in the bubble, because he would be exposed to all those germs and things that would compromise his well-being. So it is very critical that we have this product available, and what it can accomplish would be to assist our immune system. And this is where 8 years ago with cancer relapse thyroid, my experience was to remove thyroid cancer. And others have come to me for assistance in their conditions to boost their immune system.
So are you suggesting everyone should be using this elixir like with their drinks and stuff daily?
Well, let me ask you, how do you feel without water? There's your answer.
Okay. It's pretty straightforward.
Now, can you use too much of it, or does it just go through your system, or is there a limit?
The man who made it passed away last year, Jim Gates, and the family stopped making it. It might be under a different name, because the FDA threatened them that they couldn't make claims. But they weren't making claims. They were just reporting people's experiences. They only wrote what people said that they had experienced for Alzheimer's, for autism, for MS, for pain, etc. Myself, I gave it to people whose experience were no more Parkinson's, improve vision, on and on. Pain relief, yeah. My own son applied it to the face with a radiator fluid burn, and his skin swapped, skin blister. Hmm? So it's a great skin treatment. Another gentleman put on his skin cancer and it fell off. So he's just sharing his experience. That's it.
So he had skin cancer and he applied it onto his spots and it just fell off.
It fell off. Another gentleman with basal cell carcinoma and an open sore from it, applied it and the sore closed up and returned to normal skin.
Oh, wow.
So you can document before and after what he experienced. That's it. I have been blessed to be able to take the frequency and put it in a pure targeted water. So my product is Celebrate. I named it Celebrate, Labrate, because I think the cells are happy to be hydrated. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Do you think it works with people who have hangovers? Like if they went out and drank too much the night before and they wake up and they feel really crappy, you think taking this would, help cure
I have not tried it for that particularly, but I do know people who had migraines put it where the migraine was experiencing, and they report that the migraine headache stopped, okay? I can only share what people experience. They put drops in the cat's eyes. The cat was blind, and the cat was able to see, run in and out of the house. Another cat, seizure disorder, was drinking it, and the seizures stopped. Another cat had allergies and was just scratching and taking the fur off with bald spots or skin breakdown and having this applied topically. Stopped itching, and the hair grew back in the cat's back. So, you can only report what people experience. That's it. People can make their own conclusions or try it themselves.
See,
and so that's called Celebrate, and you make that stuff?
Celebrate, you can go to the website. Currently, www.celebrate.org. We are offering help to do the AO scan if people want to have a opportunity to have a scan done for them, and we can interpret and help them see what's going on, to take a look at the results and give them some way to understand the report. And then soon enough, I have had an order for 1,000 bottles to Celebrate. So I'm in the process to bottle enough. I'm just a startup because I needed to find the best way to get this out. Okay? So that's what I'm looking forward to. That'll make it available to anyone and everyone.
Well, I still have that bottle you gave me. It's about halfway empty. I only used it when I was in like serious medical conditions, but
yes,
very hydrating. I'll tell you that. On topical wounds, I had a staph infection on my leg, and I put a couple drops on that, put a Band-Aid over it, and
I could tell you the gentleman who had stage 4 prostate cancer and Kaiser told him to just go home and die. He came to me, and he is in remission now, 3.5 years out. He ordered 10 bottles, so he's been out after that. And he's lucky because, yes, it's no longer being made as in resist.
Perfect. Well, we're going to be going on a quick break, Dr. Wong. Hang tight. It's going to be 5 minutes.
Right.
And when we come back, we're going to continue talking about alternative medicines, and we're going to be speaking with Dr.
From the Bureau of Economic Geology, this is Earth Date. Compasses point north by following the Earth's magnetic field. It's amazing when you think about it. There's an invisible force flowing out of the Earth's south pole and diving back into its north pole, pulling all compass needles to the north with it. Even more amazing is that the magnetic field is keeping us alive right now. Without it, there would be no life on Earth. We're talking Mars. Here's how it works. Our magnetic field is generated in the Earth's core. It flows outward through the crust and surrounds the Earth like a giant bubble called the magnetosphere, which extends more than 400,000 miles into space. But on the side that faces the sun, the solar winds squash it down to just 40,000 miles. It's the force of that magnetic field pushing back against the solar winds that keeps them from scouring away the Earth's atmosphere. Scientists even think that billions of years ago, when the Earth was first forming, our magnetic field helped trap the gases that made up our atmosphere in the first place. By contrast, when a planet loses its magnetic field, its atmosphere declines with it, like we see on Mars. Magnetic field means atmosphere, means life on Earth. That's pretty mind-blowing. So the next time you see a compass, take a moment to remind yourself that our lives are made possible because we're living on a giant magnet. I'm Scott Tinker, and this has been your Date with Earth.
Earth Date is produced by the Bureau of Economic Geology at the University of Texas at Austin. Earth Date is researched by Julie Hennings, written by Harry Lynch, and distributed by Mark Blunt and Casey Walker. For more stories, follow us on Facebook or visit earthdate.org.
It's all going to zero against Bitcoin. If you don't understand that yet, you're going to be impoverished.
Bitcoin. Most of us have heard of it by now, but do you really understand what it is? What about money? Where does that come from and what gives it value? These are the types of questions that we'll answer for you every single week with industry experts in economics, history, technology, and so much more. The truth is, money is changing, and today, well, it's just like the early 1990s. The internet is here, but very few understand what is about to happen. Don't get left behind this time. Tune in to Cryptocurrency with Matthew J. Moore, where you'll find entertaining and educational content that just might change your life. Monetary sovereignty, well, that's going to be a common theme in the future, so prepare yourself now for this new digital age and listen to America's Bitcoin-focused radio show every Monday at 7 a.m. right here on 106.5 FM or 1050 a.m. KCAA. And, well, if you can't wait, come see me at mattjmoore.com.
Bob Vila here with my home improvement tip of the day. How much snow on the roof is too much? That depends a lot on the way your roof was constructed. Steep and smooth roofs tend to shed snow easily, while roofs that are only slightly pitched or flat tend to collect big drifts. Another important factor is the weight of the snow. Removing a heavy snow load can be tricky. If you have a multi-story house, you'd best not be climbing up and down icy cold ladders to dizzying heights. Better to leave that to licensed, insured pros who have the right equipment to get the job done right. On the other hand, if you have a single-story home, you can use a long telescoping snow rake to pull snow off the roof. One caution, though, rakes that come into contact with shingles can do a lot of damage, so look for sturdy models with small rollers that keep the edge of the rake away from the shingles. Finally, before you start pulling snow off the roof, put some thought into where the snow is going to land. You don't want to damage your plants. Get more info at bobvila.com and right here at home with me, Bob Vila.
Soap liquid that you put in your drinks and you drink it, and it helps transport water into all your blood cells and all your cell walls to keep your body hydrated, to boost your immune back to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
because a lot of people, they don't drink that much water nowadays.
No, it's crazy.
And they feel like crap. And
I drink like a gallon of water every day.
Do you really?
I do,
dude. That is one of the hardest things to do, is drink a gallon of water.
No, not for me.
Every day.
Ask Dad. I drink like a gallon of water every day.
There's literally a challenge called the 75 Hard Challenge. And if
it?
you guys don't know what that is, look it up. It's very simple.
Look it up.
All you got to do is read 10 pages a day, work out twice a day, and one of those has to be outside. Rain, snow, 100 degrees, whatever. And then stick to a diet, drink a gallon of water every day, and don't drink alcohol. And a lot of people fail this challenge simply because they can't drink a gallon of water a day.
I drink over a gallon a day.
That is crazy. It's so hard.
If I'm working, I drink like a gallon and a half.
Really?
If I don't drink like at least half a gallon of water a day, I start feeling like I'm gonna pass out.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Maybe you need some of this
Celebrate.
Some Celebrate elixir, man. Maybe that might help you. Dr. Wong, are you still with us?
Yes, I am. Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. We're just talking about your Celebrate elixir when we're on break. Kyle here, our co-host, his dad, he has some problems, right? What's going on right now? His A1C. Yeah, his
Hemoglobin
sugar
A1C
levels are
is
pretty high.
elevated.
So I recommend. I have your elixir still, so I'm gonna give him it, and then hopefully
Right.
the next couple days, next couple weeks, he
Yeah,
starts to
we
balance
can
it
get
You
out.
some
can take
feedback
my
too.
phone number and we can discuss offline.
Okay,
I
there
have managed people with diabetes that they took this product and they were off of metformin and glipizide in 1 week.
in one
Somebody else,
week.
They were off
Vietnam.
metformin and
Yeah.
glipizide in 1 week. Wow.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts about Western medicine?
Well, right now we know that pharma is more intent on giving you things so you stay ill with disease just so that they can make money. You are their cash cow. So they don't really want you to die. They just want you to continue to take medications so they can make money off of the people who are medicated. And then if you have chemotherapy, radiation, it's quite expensive versus using something like the AO scan or others that tries to harmonize, and frequencies can be used to harmonize the cell. So overall, you yourself can access the AO scan and take a look at what it is able to do. But you also, the food is our medicine. There are many products out there, including CBD, turmeric, oxygen. Oxygen. Cancer cells do not like oxygen. Back in World War II, Hitler asked his scientists to research because he was afraid since his mother had cancer. And they found that cancer cells exposed to oxygen did not survive, as well as
Wow.
cancer cells being primitive, they need glucose. That's their fuel source. So they cannot use alternate fuels. So like say your car, we can run your car using electric or using hydrogen or alcohol, other alternative fuel sources. But for the cancer cells, they have to rely on glucose. So they're primitive, like young cells. They don't know how to take other fuel sources. For instance, when you fast, you then break down protein and fat, and you can have ketones that are the fuel source. So when you do intermittent fasting or fasting, the cancer cells die because they need to rely on glucose.
Interesting.
Any questions?
Yeah, I actually have a question. You said that this is a better alternative for people with cancer. The AO scan is a better alternative for people with cancer than chemotherapy. How much cheaper would it be, per se?
Well, for instance, the AO scan, if you were to buy one and share it, the cheapest way to get the app is $250 if you just want to be a customer. If you want to be part of their MLM, you pay $49 for the annual subscription, and then to be one of their associates. Then the cost of that drops to $200. So it's kind of a wash. In order to access the software, it's $149 a month, and they have a great compensation plan for the MLM. I made $1,000 in 1 month, and I didn't even know it. It just came into my account because I introduced it to people who then bought product. So I feel that this is their desire to get the product into as many people's hands as possible. Because if you were to calculate how much an MRI, CT, angiogram, or even if you're doing lab tests, how much does it cost for a blood count, or your electrolytes, or your liver function, and so on and so forth. Or if you were to do analysis of your chromosomes, it would cost you close to $30,000, $40,000.
Yeah.
On top of which, you'd have to go in to the lab or X-ray and have the blood or the X-ray, MRI, CT, angiogram done. Whereas this is in your comfort of your home, and you don't even leave your home to go and get the results. You have all the testing and the results in your email. It's emailed to you, and you can view it via the link to their website. But it's really great is you will see a before and after. You'll see that the scan first one captures what's going on, and then the second scan is after the frequencies has been broadcast or directed to you, and see how your body responds to those frequencies being sent to your body. So this is really amazing. And the accuracy, I have people over and over, I can't believe it. It detected my bunion. It detected my callus. It detected my ovarian cyst. It reports out your hemoglobin A1C, or it tells you that the blood flow is reduced or increased and this on, that on. It is so detailed that there's over 100 pages of results. So you've gone to your doctor's office. Have they ever reviewed your results with you?
Yeah, I have Beaver, and they send me all my medical records online through email.
And how long does it take to review 100 pages of results?
Well, you do it individually. I don't know if you run it by your doctor, but with me, since it's sent through my email, I go home and I look at all the pages, and I honestly find it kind of fascinating, although it does take a while, and to understand it, I'm not in no medical field, and I got to do my own research.
Yeah.
But, the testing takes, a day or so, and then the results come back in a week or two, and then they send it, and then it's just this whole form where it could be a little more simplistic. But before we do anything, guys, it is 45 minutes past the hour. You guys listen to Whatever Works on KCAA. We're with Dr. Wong, the best co-host in town. Kyle Kerrigan here. Before we move on, Kyle, you know what time it is. Sponsor time.
It is snjradio.com. No negative news, no politics, just feel good music.
All right, and we're back. So, Dr. Wong, with this application, with this app, I do have two questions because, money is essential when it comes to, like, business and health and everything. And A, is there a free trial? And B, does insurance cover it?
So far, insurance is not, but we're going to start our own holistic insurance. Because what are you paying now and what are you getting? I know somebody who's paying $800 a month for 3 people, and they don't use it. They just have the insurance just in case they need it. But you think you take that $800 a month, you get this device. It costs only $149 a month to continue to access it. Think about it. And let's say you have that $800, you already buy $250 app. That's it. So $250 or $200, say, plus the $150. So that's $350. You take $350 versus $800. What would you like? And you don't have to wait in line. Oh, I can't get in to see my doctor. I have to wait for pre-authorization to do this test, that test, and how much do they check? Not as comprehensive as this does. So, yes, cost-effective, this is it, and you can actually have a device that's helping you to harmonize, to bring things into alignment and not taking things, and no side effects. You know what I mean? You take a drug, the side effects are what? You'll get diarrhea, you'll get nausea, vomiting, hair loss for chemotherapy, radiation, and you have to go and be tortured. If you go to the doctor's office, they put you through radiation chemotherapy, and you got vomiting, diarrhea, weight loss, hair loss, and you get secondary infection and die. That's what's happening. Your immune system is compromised by the chemotherapy radiation. How many people die from pneumonia or infection because of the cancer treatment? They don't die from the cancer. They die from the treatment. So I know. I've been there and done that as a doctor for 30-plus years, and I was sad. I saw a child die from flesh-eating bacteria when she was immune compromised, weakened, compromised immune system, when she was going through chemotherapy for her cancer. Isn't that sad? She could have survived if there was the quote-unquote alternative holistic medicine available, using hyperoxygen or using other type of modalities, frequency. You see, Raymond Rife knew it. He was given, I think, 16 terminally ill cancer patients, and he was able to kill the cancers in almost all 16 of them. And then they destroyed his data because they didn't want this out there. How easy would it be to treat people with his life machine?
Aren't you afraid that if this starts to really blow up in a good way, that maybe, the government is going to start trying to hunt you down or try to shut down the operation?
Well, let me share with you. I feel protected. I have walked with God, and if I go, that's fine. Just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. If I die, I die in God. If I live, I continue to serve my God. Same thing with Daniel in the lion's den. I have faith and I have no qualms because if I pass, I go to heaven. That's even better than being here on this earth at this time.
Amen.
What's the comparison? Going to heaven or staying here, which some people might consider hell?
Depending on how they make it or look at it. Have you?
It takes courage to stay here on the earth, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. So you use this app on yourself, right?
Yes, every day. It's amazing.
Every day. Wow. And what kind of results comes up in your diagnosis?
Because the most important is the inner voice. Your emotions and your thoughts create your disease. If you have fears, anxiety, guilt, doubt, anger, they affect you. That's why it's important to have positive frequencies in your body, in your system. Again, go back to Dr. Emoto. Okay? You are affected by your thoughts and actions. Yeah? So have good thoughts, good frequencies, good energy. You'll be healthy. Look at kids. They're so happy. They're so lighthearted. There's nothing in the world, and they are so healthy and active and strong. You notice that, right?
You know, I was just talking about that the other day with little kids. Like, they're so energized and, you know, they're always awake and running around. It's like, how do these kids have so much energy? And my thesis on this is because they're not worried about anything. Anything in life. Like, when you're tired and you're worried and you have anxiety, like, that physically drains a person. And when you get older, you have more responsibilities, and then you start going through this downhill spiral of just thinking about everything that you need to fix or everything that's going to be coming up. And, like, these kids, they're happy and they're young, obviously, and they have so much energy because there's nothing they worry about.
Killer. If you look at your scan, you'll see that those people with stress, their cortisol level is depleted and they have disease. Stress is a killer. Stress raises cortisol, raises your blood sugar. They've demonstrated that. So raising your blood sugar, you're going to have diabetes.
You know, they also did a study with, like, the whole placebo effect. They watched, like, I think 4 people growing up, and 2 of them believed that stress kills. You know, being under pressure and having everything overwhelm them and all this stuff. And then the other 2 believed that stress and being overwhelmed actually, you know, keeps you going, because you know that saying, once you retire, you expire. So, like, being stressed and always working and always trying to figure things out keeps them going. And in fact, because of the effect of their belief system, you know, stress kills, it was actually deteriorating their life. And then the opposite happened with those people that also were going through stress. They believed that it was a benefit in their life, and, you know, they have a better lifestyle and a better living because of the way they think, of their belief system.
It's interesting because I was going to share with you, we were born creative. Look at children. They have such great imagination. Anything and everything's possible. The world is theirs when they come into this world. Then they're starting to tell, oh, no, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not worthy, you're not capable. These are being sold lies, and then they end up becoming sad and depressed and so on. Whereas in reality, they create their own reality. I want everyone to go back and think, you are a God in the making. You can create your universe as you want it. If the world is all infinite possibilities, then choose what you want. Why would you choose bad or less than ideal? You have the option by going to a buffet. You can choose what food you want and don't take what you don't want. So it's life. You choose to have the life you love, and you have the beautiful home, beautiful family, beautiful relationships, infinite amounts of wealth and happiness and health. Create your reality. It's up to you.
It is. And I like how you ended that, Dr. Wong. Unfortunately, we only have 2 more minutes, so we're going to be closing up here. But Dr. Wong, thank you so much for coming on the show. We appreciate you and all the knowledge and stuff that you have shared. If you guys have checked out AO
Scan.
AO Scan, and what's the other one?
www.celebrate.org.
Yes, please do check it out, you guys. It might be life-changing if you guys, you know, put in that order. Or,
yes.
Yes, it is.
Life.
We actually have Kyle's dad going to be testing out. I have the elixir. We're going to give it to him. We're going to wait maybe a couple
Very
weeks,
good.
see how he's doing. But until then,
we'll give
Dr.
some
Wong, thank
feedback.
you so much for coming on. We appreciate your time, and I hope you
Thank
get to
you
come
so much.
on next time
And
soon,
God
okay?
bless all of you. Have a wonderful life. Yes.
All right. Happy Sunday, Dr. Wong. Thank you so much. And for all you listeners out there, next week, stay tuned. It's going to be a little more relaxed, a little more chill. We're going to have 10 music artists coming
10.
up, doing a new music hour. So stay tuned next week, 7 o'clock, same time,
All
guys.
local artists, too.
All local artists. Some of your favorites, if you guys have heard some.